I'm gonna go over my pay breakdown, what I do, how I got started, and how to get into the trade. So last week I worked 66 hours and got paid $2,936.23. For 40 of those hours, I got paid $40.55. For 18 hours, I got paid $60.83, 1.5 times, because 40 hours was just normal, my pay rate of $40, 18 hours above the 40 hours, which is time and a half, and then an extra 8 hours at $81.10 an hour for working a Sunday, which gives you 2 times your hourly rate. And then I also get paid $825 travel pay for working away from home, which is also not taxed. And I get that every single week included in my check. So that leaves us with pre-tax $3,365.65. But after taxes, because nobody likes taxes, $2,936.24. So what do I actually do? I'm an architectural sheet metal installer. Basically, I install metal panels onto buildings to make them look clean, sleek, and modern. A blue-collar job. You work with DeWalt tools. You work in the worst climates ever, cold, -20, 90 degrees outside. It's just how it goes, you know. It's actually not too bad, but it's a lot of rough hours, and yeah, that's pretty much what you do. So how I got started. Actually, let's dive a little bit more into what I do, because I feel like people might be interested in that. So I'll put up a picture on the screen right here of Florida Daytona. This is one of the jobs that I worked at, and behind the Daytona Speedway sign, you can see these panels, and on the back of these panels beforehand, pretty much they were dirty. So they hired us to come out there and take the panels down and install brand new ones. And that's pretty much all I do. I just take down panels or I install new panels. And that's pretty much it. So let's go into how I got started into this. So yeah, at the time I was 18, I was going to a community college for aviation maintenance school because I heard they get paid a lot of money, but I absolutely hated it. I did 1 year. I somehow passed, but the next year I was like, I don't want to do this. And I heard some of my friends making $10,000 a month in the trades. I was like, what the heck? How are you guys doing this? And they, one of the friends never went to college, and another friend just dropped out. I was like, shoot, I might as well drop out, and I might as well just try to go and join them, right? Because they're making a lot more money than I am. So I asked the foreman if I could join. In the trades, you start as an apprentice and you become a foreman after 5 years. That's pretty much how it goes for those who don't know. So yeah, I asked the guy, and I happen to be lucky. My foreman that I asked if I could join was my best friend's dad. So I also swam with the friend. So like, I got lucky there. But what I did not get lucky in was I had to wait an entire year for the call to start to work. In the meantime, I worked at UPS, and UPS was fantastic. I loved that place. You could just put in your headphones and work all the time. They paid you $20 an hour. I really recommend, if you don't know where to go and like you don't make that much money, like if you work at McDonald's, which sucks, I'm sorry if you do. I used to work at Chipotle. That sucked. So yeah, I waited an entire year and I finally got the call to come and join. So my first job was in Florida for 3 months. I was working, as I said previously, on the Daytona International Speedway. That was pretty nice. Florida was beautiful. And now I'm in New York on my second job. And to circle back to the travel pay, pretty much if I don't work where I'm from, and I'm from Illinois, I get paid roughly $825. In Florida, I was getting paid $600. Here in New York, since it's a little further, it's actually closer, but I don't know how it works, but they pay you according to how far away you are. I get paid $825 a week, non-taxed, every week for being away from home. And that covers rent, food, and other expenses like gas. Okay, so let's get into how to get into the trade. And we'll just go over the 5-step process that I would recommend. I'm not gonna guarantee you that you'll get the job just by doing this, but this is from someone who's been working in the trade now for only, not even a year, but like, I might as well just, it's better than someone who hasn't. So the first step I would do is contact your local sheet metal union hall. Second step is ask about their apprenticeship programs and requirements. Now, the requirements part, like, I don't think you need any, because when I joined, I literally had 0 experience, and I was making, I think, $2,000 a week in Florida after taxes, and that was me not knowing how to do anything. But I was also trying my hardest to learn. I was showing up every single day. The third step is apply and be ready to start at the bottom, learning the basics. Yeah, so this is definitely like probably the biggest step is if you want to get into this job, you have to be willing to learn, willing to work hard hours, willing to work in these rough freaking environments, and you just have to do it. The fourth step is to be ready to work hard in rough conditions and sometimes away from family. And the fifth and final step is show up every day, listen, ask questions, and make yourself valuable to the team. And that is pretty much how I make $2,936 and a couple cents a week. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.